Tonight on Hotty Toddy News, graduation is fast approaching. Find out how students and businesses in the area are getting ready for the busy season. Oxford University Transit is updating their app. Find out how they hope it will improve their efficiency. Some Mississippi high school classifications are moving on up. Find out how this impacts local athletics. Hotty Toddy News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and New Media on the campus of the University of Mississippi, this is Hotty Toddy News.
Hello, and welcome to Hotty Toddy News. I'm Ivone Garcia. Yesterday's storm caused extensive damage throughout much of our area. In Winston County, trees fell on houses and blocked highways. A lightning strike in Amory set fire to Amory First Assembly of God. Damage also caused several power outages just up the road in Holly Springs and throughout the greater Memphis area. On campus, the semester is winding down, which means graduation is close and seniors are preparing to take the next step in their lives. Reporter Tucker Lewis went to find out what plans seniors have for the future.
Basically anything towards acting.
I want to move to Washington, D.C. and work around the Hill or on the Hill.
As Ole Miss graduation quickly approaches, it is crunch time for many seniors to figure out the next chapter of their life, and many say they are ready to work.
I'm going to be doing what's called an accelerated development program for a company called Precision Cast Parts Corporation.
When I got down to it, I thought I want to at least try to get out and work for a year or two.
Although there are many graduating seniors planning on getting a job in the real world in the coming months, there are still plenty that plan on taking time off or pursuing a secondary degree.
Grad school for clinical mental health counseling.
I think it's also just tempting to stay in school, at least it was for me, just because it's comfortable and it's what you know.
Deciding whether to get my master's in accountancy or going into this career path is a big decision, but it was one, like I said, was very attractive to me.
Of the students planning on attending a secondary program, law school and accounting masters were the two most popular.
I plan on going to law school, figuring out if that's the path for me.
Starting a career in graduate programs may be popular, but some students say they will use a gap year to figure out what they want to do.
We're in that hustle culture where it's go, 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 go. So by valuing your free time and mental health is a big thing I'm trying to work on these days.
Tucker Lewis, Hotty Toddy News.
Thank you, Tucker. As graduation approaches, catering companies in Oxford are slammed with orders. Reporter Annabelle Kinney has all the details in this busy season.
Graduation is right around the corner, and catering businesses are working hard to prepare for the busy season.
This graduation most likely going to be busier than it was last graduation.
Catering is a big part of Moe's barbecue business, especially leading up to graduation. Moe's barbecue manager John Allgood says they've already received many orders.
We've already had, I think we got 12 to 13 orders so far coming for graduation weekend.
And a graduation cannot be complete without a dessert. Cheesecake City Hall is ready for their orders.
Probably anywhere from pre-orders, I'd say 150 pre-orders, but then our biggest business usually comes when they just walk in and want something now.
Nuke's employee Joey Wells says this season is expected to be much busier than last.
They requested more sandwiches than anything because they had a little finger sandwiches and stuff they be sending out. So it's the best thing that they love.
If you haven't placed your graduation catering orders yet, you might be out of luck due to the high demand. Restaurant owners recommend calling in ahead of time for your orders in the future. For Hotty Toddy News, I'm Annabelle Kinney.
Thanks, Annabelle. If you're hoping to go out for graduation weekend, remember to make reservations or call ahead. Oxford University Transit is going to address complaints about its bus system. Reporter Kennedy Cooper went to find out what steps the out buses are taking.
Over recent years, students have been frustrated with buses not being on time or reliable.
Sometimes I'm waiting for the bus for 10, 15 minutes, in the cold and when it's hot.
Oxford University Transit has updated their bus operations to solve transportation problems.
This new app will allow you to track how far the bus is and how close it is to your destination.
General Manager Donna Zimpella says the past app Next Bus wasn't exactly accurate, so they decided to switch over to an app called Transloc.
Is based off of real time, and you can go and see where the buses are and how it's like. You can also on the app go on and say, can you let me know when this bus is coming in 5 minutes.
UM student Brianna Berry says she is excited about this new update.
I feel like it's really going to make it easier for me to understand where the buses are headed, what their routes look like, and also when they're going to show up to different locations.
Zempella also says transit will be promoting this new update for students to expect at Double Decker Weekend. For Hotty Toddy News, I'm Kennedy Cooper.
Thank you, Kennedy. Oxford University Transit is one of several local entities that will be making changes for Good Friday tomorrow, as it will only run the Red North and South, Blue West and Blue Gray routes. The university will be closed, and so will several other local buildings, like all city and county offices and schools. However, Oxford Lafayette County Public Library will be open. Parking on the square is free for the holiday. Last week, the Mississippi High School Athletic Association announced a 7th classification for high school sports. Oxford is expected to be included as new 7A. Reporter Jason Price went to Oxford High School to see how they feel about the change.
Mississippi is reclassifying high school sizes in sports. This means the 24 largest high schools, including Oxford High, will be competing against each other for state championships. Junior Sparkle Caldwell welcomes the challenge.
For 7A, I feel like because we haven't faced those schools yet, well, some of them, it's going to be even harder. And honestly, that's kind of a lot of motivation.
Beginning next fall, this change will mean that high school sports programs will compete in 7 classifications, and schools will compete with equally sized opponents. Oxford High School Athletic Director Tabitha Beard believes the changes will help level the playing field.
The point of doing it all is, in some regions you would have a huge discrepancy between the lower schools and the upper schools in those divisions about how many kids were in it. So being able to, kind of shorten that gap and making them, a little more fair competitively.
The biggest schools can attract a lot of attention from colleges on game days, and Caldwell thinks this move will help her run at the next level.
Honestly, I think it could make or break me, because with more competition, that means there's people that have already been facing harder competition.
With a 4% increase in attendance expected over the next few years, Oxford will not only be a 7A school, but one of the biggest. Jason Price, Hotty Toddy News.
Thank you, Jason. In Ole Miss sports news, men's basketball head coach Kermit Davis signed 4-star prospect Amory Abron yesterday. The guard from Port Arthur, Texas is the 12th ranked guard in the nation. That signing comes at a crucial time after senior guard Jarkel Joyner entered the transfer portal. Looking ahead to this Easter weekend, Ole Miss softball plays a home series against Florida, while the baseball team is looking to stop its conference skid in a trip to South Carolina. Those games will be on the SEC Network Plus. That's all for this week. For Hotty Toddy News, I'm Ivone Garcia. You can find all of our shows and the latest news on the Oxford Lafayette community on hottytoddy.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.